talking for a while, but was not live. But anyways, look like we might be having a scheduling conflict right now with my guy Lawrence Vickers, but that'll be okay. Look like we're gonna have to have a rescheduling, which is fine on my part, but it's understandable. But you guys can get in the chat right now and join the podcast also and get your comments and your say so in. Shouts out to everybody out there. I appreciate everybody joining in with the comments. We'll see if he can get on in a minute, but I know it's Sunday and he has a family event that was forgotten about basically. And I'm thinking, let's see here. He might be able to get on. We're not sure. If so, we might have to reschedule it. Either way it go, we can get everybody on here. We can answer some questions, talking about some still some Colorado Buff stuff. But we had legend, Colorado Buff legend and NFL veteran Lawrence Vickers lined up for today, and looked like a little bit of scheduling conflict. Like I said, we might still have him on. Not sure. But good evening, good afternoon, good morning to everybody out there. Depending on where you're located at and the time it is where you are. This is the BIGG, DOGG, back up in this thing once again. Man, we had a good discussion yesterday on the podcast. I want to say I appreciate Life and Football, my guy Cullen, Seymour, for joining on once again. Also, all the guests we had come through, Bird's Eye Vision, Big LT, Rob the Man, of course, Aaron and Nessimo and everybody else was in the building. And I appreciate you guys once again. So what we can do right now, we can, like I said, the invite is there if anybody want to join in. And boom, I got my guy look like just joining in, coming in straight from Colorado. We got another, let me make sure I get it on right. We got another content creator right here, and a good one. That's that. I watched him. I remember he had probably like 500, and I might be overstated, but he probably had like 500 subscribers at the time, and he's well over that 1,000 mark right now, which is what's needed to get in the monetization zone. And here we go right here. We're gonna bring him on. My guy, David Talks Buffs. What's happening? What's up? What's shaking?
Oh, Big Dog Chico, man, I love how this worked out. Thank you so much for having me on. I wish I had a little bit of time to prep. I was still getting a
Yeah,
little
right.
bit ready for tomorrow, but man, this is I love that we were able to make it happen. How are you doing?
Exactly. Yeah. For everybody that don't know, we have had scheduled an interview for myself on David's page. If you haven't joined, you haven't subscribed yet, go make sure you check out his page. He got all the Colorado Buff content. And I was scheduled to go on his page for an interview tomorrow, but ended up, hey, we was talking. We was like, man, come jump on right now and let's see what we could do. And talk some Buff football, man. So
Let's
what's
do it.
going on with you today?
Oh man, well, outside of getting prepped for the Nuggets game, just had
Oh
or
my God.
post say what?
No, I'll say, oh my God, we could almost stop right there and discuss some stuff because
Yeah, of course I'm ready to go. But just put a video on about Nate Robinson's son, Namir Robinson, maybe just about an hour ago or so, and I hadn't seen yet. Have you had a chance to check out some of his tape or a little bit of what he's bringing yet to see you?
Well, that's crazy. I haven't checked out any of his current film. I knew about him years ago, but I haven't been really keeping up with him. So I talked to Colin yesterday, Seymour with Life and Football. I said, man, I need to check out some of Lil Nate's footage because we know he has the background, he has the pedigree. He comes from, of course, Nate Robinson. So I'm sure he's pretty athletic, and he's just going to add some more depth and potential. A guy with a lot of potential in that defensive backfield, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so funny because I've seen like some comments on that video that I posted where people are always saying like he's too small or he's too short, to play at this level. But I think I've seen him sized at either 5'9" or 5'10", depending on kind of where you're looking at. What's your opinion on that in terms of, at the running back position or where he plays at safety? Is height really as big of a deal? I mean, definitely more than it is or less of a deal than it is in basketball. But
Yeah.
yeah, what's been your experience with that? And you were a player as well, right? Like you played
Yeah, of
college
course, of
football.
course.
So
Yeah.
yeah, tell me a little bit about that.
Well, it depends what position he's playing. If he's at let's say running back or anywhere other than cornerback, let's say cornerback will probably be his biggest detriment. The height would be, I would think, especially going against bigger and bigger wide receivers nowadays. So cornerback would be definitely tough. If he's going to be at safety, it's going to have to be like a Cam Silman Craig safety. And he's
Okay.
going to have to be physical and fast and going all over the field. If he's at wide receiver, which I don't, he's on the defensive side, right?
Yeah, I think he'll
Yeah.
primarily play that safety position.
But overall, just the height, I think on the defensive side will really hinder him probably more at safety rather than at or at cornerback rather than at safety. You know,
Mhm.
with what he can do. So I don't think it'll be a big issue if you look at guys like Jimmy Horn Jr., which they have scheduled at 5'9" or so. I'm gonna tell you right now, Jimmy Horn Jr. is not 5'9". If he's
No.
5'9", then I'm 6'6", and I'm dunking on you like Shaq. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say my dog Jimmy Horn Jr. 5'9", but he's gonna put them cleats on, put that pad and helmets on. He's gonna be 5'9". He's gonna be 6 feet then because he's gonna play way bigger than that. So I don't think it's gonna be really a big deal. If he's athletic, if he can jump like his dad, and has those ball skills, I don't think it's gonna be a problem, especially if he's physical, like I think he will be.
Oh
So
yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah,
And just
yeah.
like Prime Sports Media is hitting on here, like he's got good
Okay.
return ability as well. You can kind of put him out in the backfield as well,
Oh
I
my
guess,
gosh.
if you want to use him. So just another dog, you know. I didn't
Yeah.
realize it till this morning, but his grandfather, I think in my video I said his dad, which we knew that, but his grandpa played at University of Washington as well. He was a
Wow. That's
Rose
a
Bowl
legacy.
MVP. Yeah.
Rose Bowl MVP. Wow.
Yeah.
And
At
we
at
see
running
those
back.
guys
So
talking
it's cool to
about
have him.
how especially at running back that 5'9" really wouldn't matter because it'll probably give him advantage to hop behind those linemen. You got a lot of
Mhm.
guys coming saying Darren Sproles, DeAnthony Thomas 5'9", and there's guys in the league right now that's 5'9" or smaller. So I
Mhm.
wouldn't really worry about that. Tyreek Hill got to be 5'9",
Yeah.
5'10". So if you have that speed and that athletic ability, I don't think it'll be a problem.
No,
So
no,
shouts
I
out to
don't think
everybody in the
so.
comments. Make sure you get your comments in. We got David Talks Buff in the building. So let me know what y'all thinking, man. Put them in the comments. Any other questions? Hit me up, David. What you got?
Oh man. Okay. Well, one thing that I've been wanting to ask you has been around just kind of your favorite sleepers in terms of recruits or transfers that are brought in. Like, of course, we hear a lot about Travis Hunter, Jimmy Horn, who I think will lead the team in targets this year. That's kind of my prediction. But
Horn? Okay.
um, yeah, who do you think deserves a little bit more hype or recognition going into this fall than what they've gotten so far?
Wow. As far as the whole team goes, we'll look at wide receivers first. I like
Okay.
Dawson coming from Auburn, who originally committed to Cincinnati, but this guy's, from what I've seen on film, is an explosive wide receiver. I think he'll be number 2 on my depth chart, behind Jimmy. Well, do I have him 2? Yeah, 2 on my depth chart behind Jimmy Horn Jr. I got Travis Hunter in the
Hmm.
slot also, rather than
Okay.
being outside. I have Fast Willie Gaines in that slot. So it's a lot of sleepers on that list at that wide receiver position with Fast Willie Gaines, T. Dawson, Javon Austin, or Antonio.
Yep.
Man, another sleeper. I like Kyrie Mans to be a sack artist coming in on pass rush downs. Man, Demore Kennedy, the linebacker.
Yeah.
I like JMJ, Milliner Jones at the
Oh,
cornerback
love
safety
Jane Miller
position.
Jones.
I think he can really be a freshman that can contribute.
Okay.
Also, I like Rod Ward coming over from Southern Utah University. He's a tackling machine. Who's going? Man, the defense, like I said, we said from the clip I just posted, the defense is going to be rotating a lot out there. I like Savelle Smalls to come
Oh
in
man.
and really step up and show what he has to prove and overachieve, not overachieve, well actually achieve what they've been predicting of him for the longest since he's had that 5-star rating. So I think they have a lot of guys. They've accumulated a lot of talent that can really go out there and ball from the top to the bottom of the roster, which is going to separate them somehow, some way, especially from the bottom of that Pac-12, they're not going to be there. No way, no doubt. I'm
No.
sorry, I can't see it because of the sheer number of seniors, grad transfers, juniors, guys who can play that they've evaluated, not just in high school and hoping that it translate. These are guys who have been in college and either made some plays or at least they've been through the college program to where they know what to expect now. So you got
Mhm.
guys who are hungry to make plays out there, and I think uh, Coach Prime has assembled the right type of talent to make something happen in the Pac-12.
Oh, definitely. And
Yeah.
one thing that I think is just so funny is I guess it might have been right after the spring game, when the mass exodus happened. A lot of those betting sites dropped the line down from 4.5 wins to 3.5. What I don't get is like after that, they still have after like all these new transfers they've brought in who are so much better than what we've had, they've still kept that line at 3.5 when it
I
was.
don't know.
I don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't know how that is, but you know, maybe they're not betting or not believing in Coach Prime. I don't know what they're looking and thinking about. I think they think a lot of people feel like this. That is such a huge gap between Power Five and FCS football. They feel like the gap
Mhm.
is way bigger than what I think it is. There is a gap, but I think it's resources, which means that you can bring in more good players rather than a few here and there. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I mean, it's still football at the end of the day. Shador Sanders played at the FCS level, but he had offers from Power Five schools.
Hmm.
Could have went anywhere in the country, basically.
Yeah.
And if you're an evaluator of talent and you've seen this guy play football and throw the football, how it comes off his hands, he's gotten endorsements, not just business wise, but about his play from Tom Brady, from some of the best players and coaches out there. How is it that you still got critics who probably never even played the game still not or still doubting him, still saying what he's not going to do or what he can't do, or I'm just going to wait to see? I don't have to wait to see nothing. They can wait to see it, but it's going down in about 80 some days.
Well, and it's so funny because I would bet you that the majority of these guys that are going to see come September, this is the first time that these critics will have ever watched Shador Sanders play a football game.
Oh, great point. Like somebody said, great point, because for them to make some of the statements they're making, it has to be they're just writing off the fact that he played football the last 2 seasons and went undefeated.
Yeah,
Well, it was in
yeah,
the HBC. I don't care if you. It's hard to do that. Playing against kids. I don't care who you playing against. It's hard to just go undefeated and do it back to back seasons and so on. Yeah, they lost in the bowl game, but that's a bowl game. You know what I
yeah,
mean? You got some guys who wasn't even out there playing, wasn't even trying, wasn't even in the right mindset. So, him and Travis Hunter went out there and balled out if you
yeah.
watch that game.
Oh yeah, and I think the bias or just lack of attention on Shador and what they've done at Jackson State. It's funny to me because you see guys from FCS, in the last 15 years, Carson Wentz. We're talking about Trey Lance, both at North Dakota State. Joe Flacco. Now, Joe Flacco, his last year at Delaware, he threw for over 4,000 yards in like 2007, which
Yeah,
is insane. Also is funny because it was only on like 55% completion percentage, which
right.
is funny. But
But you
you
know what
know,
happens? You
yeah,
you you
yeah,
get those guys like Mel Kiper and such. They hype him up. They say, "Oh, he's 6'6", he's this, he's that." But either way it goes, right? They're still evaluating the talent at a lower level than a Power Five, and the guy gets drafted and goes to the NFL and produces and wins a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
it's just about evaluating talent, no matter where the guy is. That's my
Oh,
opinion.
absolutely. And yeah, I'm glad that Shador has the chance to silent critics earlier before even going to the NFL because I mean he's performed better at that FCS level than Wentz and Trey Lance ever did,
Right, right.
and he's way more polished of a passer. I can't really speak to Joe Flacco. I haven't seen like much of him other than a few highlight reels at Delaware.
Yeah,
But
the ball used to spin off
yeah,
Joe Flacco's hand too now, and then he
yeah,
was 6'6", but the package that Shador presents, the mental aspect of it,
yeah,
the escapability of it, the low turnovers, you know, no matter where you play against or who you play against, what level you play on, some guys are just turnover prone, you know, and
absolutely.
he's proven not to be that. So I don't expect him to, throw a lot of picks regardless of the level he's playing on. I think he's just as good as Caleb Williams. Who knew how good Caleb Williams was until what? He went and did it,
Yep.
right?
Mhm.
So, hey, I guess we'll wait and see when Shador goes and do it, and then people start jumping on this, you know what, and then we'll go from there. But before that happens, I'm sitting here telling these guys, from what I've seen and what others have seen, he's the real deal and he's going to prove it. And
Mhm.
Colorado is very lucky to have him.
Oh, absolutely. And you just gave me this fun idea. Maybe sometime we can break this down or whatever. But maybe looking at Tulane as like a case study, because if they can go from like 2 wins at the G5 level to winning the Rose Bowl against USC in a year, I mean, I don't even know who they got at quarterback off the top of my head, but I have a feeling he's not as talented as Shador. Like,
Yeah,
I think we're definitely, or it's definitely on the table that CU can make some serious noise this year.
I think they really can. Starting off with the first game, and like I said before, it's the first game. Those guys just happen to be the first ones up, and they have a high turnover also. Um, they're coming off a high from last year, even though they lost, but they still reached the national championship. So they might be coming in with a little bit of arrogance. They're going to come in and give CU all they have, though. All the everything they have, to defend home turf. But I don't think they're going to be ready for what's going to hit them in the mouth. You got too
Mhm.
many guys. It's like just having so many bullets and ammunition coming at you from all which ways. I think that's how CU's defense is going to be. You never know who's coming. They're going to be able to rotate. You're going to have fresh legs coming. You got one offensive tackle going against 3 or 4 different rushers per game. I think that's what it's going to look like. These
Mhm.
offensive tackles will usually just stay in the game. They don't really get a rest like the defense.
Nope.
They're going to have to go face 3 or 4 different pass rushers who all pass rush 3 or 4 different ways. Good luck to that.
Mhm. Oh
That's what
yeah,
I'm saying. Yeah. And so they're the first ones on the list. I'm calling that a upset right now today. And that's simple as that.
I think so too. I mean, and again, like people don't realize, like TCU, even though they've done some very good recruiting in the last couple of years, like they lost a lot of their key players this past year, and I'm forgetting their. I always forget the name of their new quarterback, but um,
Yeah, I
y-
don't know
y-
either. I knew the one they had last year, but
but he was
whoever
playing so bad against CU, they had to bring in the other guy.
right.
Like
Me sometimes or most of the times, and just like Coach Prime said or Coach Nick Williams said, it's not about them, it's about us. And I feel like the talent that the Buffs CU have brought about, if they bring it together, they can do something that's probably never been done before. And they can go from 1-11 man to double digit win season. I think,
I'm all
like
for it.
seriously, it's going to be the teams that really worry me on the schedule, just thinking about it, looking at it, is
Mhm.
USC because it's USC and they got a superb quarterback, right?
Yep.
And you know they're going to be stacked across the line, running back, wide receiver, defense, wherever. They're going to have players there. USC, um, who's the other one? Give it to me.
Oregon. Oregon's going to be
Oregon,
right.
of course.
Yeah.
Oregon, and Washington will be good. It'll be a tough game.
Oregon
Um,
State's sneaky. They had
Oregon
double
State
digit
is
wins.
always sneaky. Yeah, you got to watch out for them. You got sneaky teams, but no one that they're going to go into the game thinking like, "Damn, we might not should win this game. We might not win." Or nah, they're going to go in to win. Also, I'm gonna call it like this. Isn't Bo Nix the quarterback for Oregon?
Yes.
Didn't he have a great year last year?
Mm.
What did he do at Auburn the year before?
Oh.
Stunk like hot trash. You know, I think that's his true smell. That's his true MO. That's his true way of
Yes.
playing. And I think
Mhm.
Coach Kelly, the defensive coordinator, they're going to expose a guy like Bo Nix.
Oh
That's just
yeah.
my opinion. I think all these quarterbacks in the Pac-12, other than Caleb Williams, they're going to get exposed. And then Caleb, if he tries to do too much, he's going to be getting sacked outside of the pocket, probably force fumbled because he's trying to run around and do too much. He's going to underestimate that speed of Colorado coming off the ends. Those hungry dogs are going to make
Yeah.
plays. He's going to be running for his life. Shador Sanders is going to be on point. I'm sitting here saying it, and they're going to come back to this video. Like, damn, how in the hell did he know that? I'm just saying from visually looking at things and the landscape of it and what they're building at Colorado, what everybody else already has, and the way that it could go. And that's what it is. That's me. Let me
Oh
know in the
yeah.
comments what y'all think. We'll go from
On
there.
top
Sorry
of
for my
that,
rant.
on top of that too, I mean, two other schools that they play, UCLA won double-digit games last year. I think they'll have a true freshman quarterback starting, as well as Arizona State.
Yeah,
So
Arizona
it's.
State.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, Arizona State and UCLA. I think they'll be good. I think they'll be much more improved. But top to bottom, I don't know if the talent will be able to compete. A lot of people saying, Colorado's going to need a couple more years to build up. I'm looking at the roster top to bottom, like I said. Only thing I see that's needed right now, and that would, set us up to even be in a better position, are those two defensive tackles that up the middle that would plug up everything first and second down. I'm looking for those two guys. If Bishop Thomas, if Leonard Payne are not those guys, or if they are those guys, great. If not, then we need those 6'4", 320-pound guys. If McNeil is not that guy, then we need someone to come in and be that guy. I think McNeil has potential.
Mm-hmm.
I think Shane Coates has potential, but I'm still looking for one or two other guys that can come in there and compete with those guys.
Totally. Do you feel like, because I still feel like that's probably the only somewhat valid criticism of the team being small, is just
Yeah.
maybe a little bit light on the defensive line. Is that kind of how you feel about it too?
Yep, that's pretty much it. Just right up that middle. That's it, right up the middle. You got the speed on the outside. You got some strong power guys on the outside. You got big physical long corners, safeties. Um, Middle linebacker, and maybe it's somebody I'm missing. I know Kennedy played a little bit outside at Bama. Maybe he'll
Mm-hmm.
play inside here. Bentley is inside.
Mm-hmm.
You got Victory Johnson there. You have
Morgan Pearson,
Furtado
yeah,
there.
both of
I
those
like, I
two
like
freshmen,
I
yeah.
like Morgan Pearson, but can they make those reads on those pulling guards and the centers and the offensive line totally? Can they make those reads to play on the offensive side of the ball, to make those tackles for losses, when the guys are trying to run the ball down their throat if they get up
Mm-hmm.
on them, so
Mm-hmm.
that's the guys I'm looking for. If they can bring two or three guys or whatever in that middle that can fortify that middle, then they have a team that has been put together. You got to think about it. If you've been playing Madden or NCAA football, and you get a expansion team, or you go to the, what do you call it, the fantasy draft.
Yeah.
That's what these guys did. They traded their picks for draft picks. They
Yes.
traded their picks. They traded their players for salary cap to bring in free agents. And that's all I think they did. They took their pick. They went through it with the fine tooth comb. They said, I like this guy. He has potential. Nothing so bad against the guys that were there, other than we looked at what we had, we evaluated it, we said we think we can get better. That's all.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Less than 10 transfers have gone Power 5 that have left the program, and I think I want to say only 4 or 5 of those, have or let me rephrase, only 3 or 4 of those have gone outside the Pac-12,
Right.
which I think
And,
is funny. One including our kicker from last year, so maybe
right.
you don't even count that
Utah,
one.
yeah. And that's a testament to showing the type of eye and evaluation that Coach Prime and his staff have done. if it was a bad job done, then all of these guys would have been going to bigger schools or better schools or parallel at least. Most of them
Absolutely.
are pretty much without any scholarships. More power to them. I hope they find somewhere to go. They should be reaching out on social media right now.
Mhm.
Um, Forget trying to ask for practice footage. Make your own footage. Go out there in the yard and go work out. Do some things. Do what you got to do. Do bench press. Do your 40 times. Do agility drills. All these things. You it's excuses when you say I don't have footage. That's my opinion. In my
Yeah,
opinion.
I agree. I mean, we've
Yeah.
seen guys, and again, it's just a change of mentality. You've seen
Yeah.
guys that have committed here that put their own tape on Twitter. You could tell that they just recorded it from their own phone.
Exactly. And I'm a testament to that, man. I know it was years ago, but that's how I got recruited. Other than going to camps, I remember having people record in the stands for me. I take the stuff home. I get the VHS,
Yeah,
and I put all of them on one tape. Then I dub that tape and I take it and I mail it to different colleges and schools. That's how you get no. You're gonna have to take some type of initiative. Other than that, you're gonna be, you could get left behind. A lot of people say, they will find you, but you can't just depend on that because there's so many talented players out there nowadays that you can get looked over.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Uh, Real quick,
Yeah.
just on with the mass turnover that we've had, based on your playing experience, is this whole thing based on like how quickly are they going to gel? Are they not going to be able to, like, in terms of being able to read off of each other on the field and that nonverbal communication? What's your opinion on all that going into this year?
Well, yeah, I really think they're gonna have to gel. But here's the thing: everybody's coming in at the same time. you know, right now at the beginning of summer. Everybody's going to be going through summer workouts right now. Everybody's going to have that, 1st of August, those training camps,
Mhm.
end of July, those training camps. Everybody's going to have those times. So everybody get the same amount of time to do what they're doing. Everybody has new players. It's just that they have a lot of new players.
Yeah.
So what I do like what Coach Prime did was he has now made those players, and he kind of did the same thing at Jackson State. Those players who were here for the spring, they have now come like ambassadors or like leaders, or like, I'm going to show you what the coaches are looking for. They have become examples for the new guys to come in. So with those leaders in place showing what's expected of them, I think is going to be something that's going to happen pretty fast, especially with the caliber of athletes they brought in too. If it was a team full of freshmen, yeah, they're going to need time to gel and mature. But this is a team full of mature guys who are there for a reason, which I think they're going to come together probably faster than a lot of people think, especially with this coaching staff and with the competition level that's going to be at practice, man. That's going to really just breed more and more confidence in the team, chemistry in the team, togetherness, and more players that's going to want to go out there and play and prove themselves. That's the big thing. To prove everybody has a chance to prove themselves now, and sky's the limit for the team, in my opinion. This is the first time in history we've seen it like this. Probably going to be emulated or imitated a lot, but it won't be duplicated because nobody is Coach Prime
Nobody.
unless you're gonna go back in history to 1988 and start trying to compete with him. Then he's been doing it. He's been prime time since then. You
Yeah.
feel he's been prime time since then. So the influence he's made on aunties, uncles, grandparents,
Yeah.
kids, culture is can't be duplicated. So that's why all of this is happening. You
Yes.
know, there's one person in the world, maybe two when he retired, that can pull something like this off.
Okay.
One, if Michael Jordan said, you know what, I'm going to go and coach basketball somewhere, you're going to have some players try to
Oh
flock to go
man.
play with Michael Jordan. That's a long shot. And when LeBron is done coaching and he goes and coach a college
Yeah.
to where players, that's it. Other than that, man, nobody else can do this. And what he's doing now is setting up for the next few years to come, where he's going to continue to get these high level recruits. They're going to have, like someone said on my podcast, a Miami vibe of the early 2000s. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be fun to watch, and I
Yeah.
think it's inevitable. It's going to happen.
Oh yeah, I remember watching. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, no, go ahead. I'm just laughing. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, with like those U documentaries. I can't remember if it was the first one they did or part two. Yeah, it must have been part one. One of the players was talking about like everybody just hated us because Miami didn't have any tradition or culture, football culture, anything like that, and we were
Yeah,
just kind of instantly good, and people hated us for that. Now, again, we got some tradition, based on 30, 40 years ago.
yeah,
But for, a good portion of people watching this, this is going to be the first time they experience Colorado football.
right.
And yeah, we got a spotlight on ourselves. We're doing something totally different. Coach Prime is
Totally different.
disrupting the whole system. And that's why it's going to be must watch TV. Absolutely.
I want to have ask a question to you as someone who's been going to Buffs games for a while. How much of a difference has it been? Explain some of the differences. Explain and talk to the people about some of the differences.
Dude, big dog. Like, over the last like couple years, man, like it's been embarrassing to like wear our Buffs gear like out in public. Like, dude, I live 15, 20 minutes from campus. CU's the biggest university here in the state. And when it's
Wow.
at the point where like you're embarrassed to wear that stuff, I mean, you can't get much lower. And then I mean, like, we're looking at last year, and with just how the Pac-12 has their time slots right now, I'm remembering with TCU last year. So excited for that game. It's got a 9 o'clock start here at Mountain Time. We know the
Mm.
team's going to be bad, but I'm staying up to watch it. There's a
Yeah.
thunderstorm. This game doesn't kick off till 10:30, 11 o'clock. I'm up half the night just watching.
Dang.
Just an absolute disaster. It is. We were talking, like me and my friends that also went to CU. We're talking about, do they just need to do what Tulane did years and years ago, saying, you know what, we're just not committed to athletics at an SEC level. We're going to leave
Mm.
and
Mhm.
just go Mountain West. And,
Mhm.
that's what we thought we needed to do, because a lot of people don't realize like there was other issues like this. Mel Tucker didn't just leave because of the money, but he also left because we had these completely ridiculous academic recruiting restrictions where like we didn't
Yeah.
offer general studies degrees and different things like that.
Mm.
Coaches, Mike McIntyre here in the 2010s, I think if he had the same recruiting transfer credit like availabilities that Coach Prime has right now, like McIntyre could have done something, but we were always at a disadvantage because one, we weren't good at football, and then two, we were treating ourselves like we were Stanford or something like that, or
Yeah.
Cal, and there are just so many issues. So now that like I remember telling my friends, man, it would be amazing. This was in like October, I think, after we fired Carl Durrell. I was like,
Yeah.
man, it would be amazing to get Deion Sanders here, because that would just be incredible. But there's no way in hell that he would ever want to come to a disaster like this program. No way. So, we're looking at Matt Rule, as like maybe the realistic chance of a
Yeah.
half decent coach coming here, blowout from the NFL. But when this happened, man, it I think only till recently, maybe till the spring game, after the spring game, it still feels so surreal. And it's like
Wow.
every day when I'm out in public, man, people are wearing their Buffs gear. People are talking about it. There's real excitement here about the program. And yeah, it's what he has done. Um, you know, it's nothing short of a miracle, man. I'm ready to put up the Coach Prime statue already. And that's why like people are upset. Like I got a friend who covers Ohio State football as a
Yeah.
beat reporter.
Yeah.
And he was giving me crap for this video I put out, I think earlier this week, about how I think Coach Prime already deserves a raise, because you could say this is a results oriented business and he hasn't proved it at the Power 5 level. Give me a break.
Yeah.
If this whole thing is against the grain or against tradition, and we're breaking the rules, I mean, we might as well just go ahead and drop a new contract at this point anyway, because the results are already there.
The
Again, you can't.
revenue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the revenue, the recruiting. Like I um, again, we have already 5 games slotted in primetime slots for this year, and
Praise.
yeah, it's like as a 111 team. I mean, I don't. I know Dabo has a charismatic personality. I know Nick Saban is really respected, but
Mhm.
I'm even skeptical to think that they could be doing what Coach Prime is doing right now, coming over, taking a 111 program in a Mountain West time zone where Denver's the biggest city in the entire time zone.
Right.
It's kind of a dead spot within the country. It's nothing short of remarkable.
Yep. Remarkable and almost damn near remote location. Like he
Yeah.
said one time, he was like, I'm going to come. I'm going to go do the camps out there where the guys are, so it's not so hard to get here.
Yeah.
And man, just like you said, just for him to come there, take a 1-11 program, and I think though he looked at it like this the perfect storm.
Yeah.
They already doubt me. They already doubt me. What if I go out there where they think I'll never go to, into a program that they're saying is dead?
Yeah.
Well, it has history, so it can be done. You know what I mean? And he probably thought about that. He said, you know what? These Florida schools playing around, I'll get them Florida boys to come to me. I'll get them to come to me, because if you think about it, that's what CU did back in the day. They went to
Yeah.
Compton, California. They went to Texas. They went down to some of these neighborhoods and got some guys and mixed them with the local guys, and they had success. You know, I
Yes.
don't know what happened in between or whatever, but I remember Colorado in the 90s, like I think is No Sco Zone has on his page right now, with Ice Cube wearing the Colorado gear. It was
Yes.
prevalent. We knew about that. That was in hip hop culture almost, like people knew about the Buffs. But my brother-in-law went there. He actually played. He told me not to tell his name though, so I'm not gonna say his name. But
Okay.
he played there. He played there during the early 2000 years, right? Right when kind of going down. But he was a good ball player there. He said that the coach was there, but as he was leaving, he could see the tail end going down. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
I just feel like, they have a lot to grow with the guys that they've brought in, with Coach Prime being there. The culture is going to come back there. That seasoning, somebody said, is going to come back there, which is fine. And I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'm wherever. I'm proud to say this. I don't mind saying this. A lot of people have a problem with it. I've seen a lot of people saying they're bandwagon fans. You got the bandwagon Buffs. You got the bandwagon this. That's cool. That's cool. I know there's some lifelong Buffs fans out there, and I don't want to offend either side. I don't want to offend bandwagon side. I don't want to offend lifelong Buffs fan side, but I know about back in the early 90s. I know about Rashawn Salam and all them. I know
Yeah.
about Michael Westbrook, which was one of my
Yeah.
favorites. And I'll tell you
Oh
who
yeah.
my absolute favorite, who I was going to have on the show today, was Lawrence Vickers, because he played with the Cleveland Browns. My last name is Cleveland. And he played the position that I played, which is fullback, but I played more of a H-back, tight end type. But he was that bruising fullback, running back that I loved, So I know about the Bucks back then, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm a Coach Prime fan. I'm a Deion Sanders fan.
Yeah.
I've been following him for the longest. So if he went to coach the moon, coach on the moon, and he coached the Moon Space Raiders or whatever, I'm gonna be a Space Raider fan. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I am. You know what I mean? That's how I am. I'm not gonna be out here saying though I'm a something else. You know what I mean? That might be kind of derogatory. But anyways, moving on from that, let's get to some comments, Dave. Let's get to some
Yeah.
comments. A lot of people commenting and saying what's up to you. So
What's
let's
up,
read
everyone?
one right here. I mean, shout out to Alpine Garage in the building, AG Sports. Shouts out to you. Isn't he out in Colorado too? Do you know about
Yeah,
it?
yeah. Chris is right out here in Boulder. I ran into him at the spring game
Yeah.
really quick. So I think I saw today he was actually on campus for yoga day. Took his daughter out there
Okay, I saw
at
that.
the
Yeah, that's
facility.
right. I
So
did see it on his page.
yeah. He's the true buff. He knows the history, 1,000 times more deep than I do.
Right.
I
I
love
love
his
watching
page.
his page. I love his insights that he has. So shouts out to him.
Mhm.
Join on anytime you get a chance, AG. Anytime. Let me see. I'm in here sweating now. I didn't even turn on the air conditioner. All right. So, but make sure you guys tune in to David's page. We're going live on his page tomorrow. Hope we didn't go over too much today, but we definitely will be going live tomorrow. Exclusive interview. Let's see here.
Oh
The
yeah.
boys got to have that Miami U swag for real. Let me see what they say. Say it, big dog. I'm a Dion fan. I know what he can do. I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I ain't scared to say it. Shouts out to David. Salute, says Saeed Abdul
What's
Raham
up, man?
Rahman. Shout out to both of these man. Go Buffs. Go Buffs in the building. Coach
Yeah.
G. I appreciate you, Coach G, for the
Coach G.
super chat.
He's so kind. Are you planning to get out to a game this year? I think we got direct flights from Honolulu out here to Denver.
Oh, you got direct flights? I like direct flights.
I think
I might
so.
need to check on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know exactly which one. I know everything is so sold out right now, and it was sold out when I looked at it
Yeah.
shoot months ago. But I got an invite to come, but not sure exactly when it'll be. We're going to talk more next month in July
Okay.
to solidify which games I'll be coming to, because I got a plan for it to come from out there. I'm
Yeah.
already planning to come back to the mainland September 29th. So for my niece's wedding. So whatever game is that following weekend, I was thinking wherever that is, I can fly there and go to that game. So that's what I'm looking at
Okay.
right there. So either way it go, whenever I'm there in Boulder, I'll be sure to holler at you and all the creators out there who who tap in, even some of the guys who come in who show love. Shouts out to Big LT. He got on yesterday with me.
Yeah, I saw that.
He said, Boulder, get ready for the buffet, the buffets, the dancing, buffos. I gotta get him come on to explain that one. You're gonna be a regular on the show, Big LT. You feel me? You're gonna be a regular on the show. You need to go ahead and tap in. I got the link in the comments. If anybody else want to tap in and join
Yeah, come
on,
on. So, yeah,
say
somebody
what's up.
tap in. Come
Yeah,
on.
tap in, join on, say what's up to David Buffs, David Talks Buffs, and go from there, man. Let me see who else we got here. I'm pretty sure I got it in the comments. If not, I think I can paste it right now. Again, it's in the comments for you guys to join on. Get your comments on. Show your face. Let me see who we talking to. Put a name with a face as we go in for more. We got Alpine Garage Sports said Nebraska is the following. We all appreciate that. Nebraska, man. If I come to that Nebraska game,
Dude, that would be the perfect first game for you to come to.
oh my gosh, a rivalry game, the
Yeah,
rivalry game. Oh, that'll
the
be
rivalry
huge.
game.
That'll be
Yeah.
huge. So that's what it's looking like right now. That's what it's pointing to. I doubt if I come up early, I'm more likely to come, go to the wedding, handle all of that, and then fly over and come enjoy the game from there. Then just fly back to the islands from that game. So it's going to be huge. I'm looking forward to it. They should be um was it that's the second or third game?
Second.
That's the second game. So yeah, I think we'll be 1-0 at that point. I'm calling it
Yes.
right now, 1-0 at that point, going into 2-0. So you already know what it is. I appreciate you guys joining in, man. I don't know if we're gonna get anybody to come in right now. Are we? Let me see.
Oh man, I was hoping Chris would join us from Alpine. Oh well.
Oh, let me see, Chris. Let me
Come
see.
on,
He
Chris.
said, "Slow down, David. We have a 1-11 checkbook until season starts."
Oh man, that's why we got to get out to one of these conferences with some more TV money, But the boosters, it's all it's all coming back. It's all coming back.
So, what do you think about them moving to another conference, Big 12, or so they start talking about?
It's got to happen, and it's so funny because man, with a lot of this conference realignment stuff, sometimes it's so hard for me to talk about because I feel like people just get. It's the closest thing I feel like in college football to like talking politics. It's like,
Yeah.
dang, like people just chill out. Like this is just college sports, but man, like I wanted it to work out with the Pac-12, but let's be real. We've been waiting on a deal for over a year now, and
Yeah.
I was optimistic, 5 months ago, but
Mhm.
at this point, I just feel like, man, they got to go to where the exposure and the eyeballs and the money are at, and that's it with the conferences in the Central and Eastern time zones. We don't want
Yeah.
to be doing 9 p.m. Mountain Time kickoffs at night. We don't want to be doing. They were considering the Pac-12, 9
That's
a.m.
crazy.
Kickoffs for a little while, man. Like we just need to get in those good time slots. And with the Big 12, some people in the Big 12 that are listening to this, they might be upset, but CU has the chance to be the big dog in that conference very quickly.
Mm.
And I think Brett Yormark and Coach Prime, they're both very creative personalities. They'll go out and do things differently, and I think that they can make a pretty powerful promotional duo between the two of them, their
Yeah.
conference commissioner and Coach Prime. What are your thoughts?
Well, let me read this comment right here
Oh
from
yeah.
Michael saying Colorado was 89, 27, and 4 in the 90s, top 10 program in the 90s. Dion bringing the heat and the pressure to college football. No matter what conference I think they go to, with Coach Prime as the coach, um, it, well, I'll take that back. If they go to a better conference or a better time slot, I think it'll only increase
Yeah.
the recruits that Coach Prime would be getting. It'll only increase the exposure. It'll only increase what he has going on right now. That's all I'm saying. The
Yeah.
better conference, the better deals, the better TV pro, whatever is only going to enhance what they have going on right now. Coach Prime is doing something, and he's not changing the model pretty much from what he's done with the Truth program, what he's done at Jackson State, even mid level in between Truth and Jackson State. What he's done coaching these guys, um, I'll say this: when I was a youth football coach, right, coming
Hmm.
from being a player, no, I didn't play. I wasn't the player that Coach Prime was, but coming from playing at a high level, and then you come back and you see your kids, or in this case, my nephew playing for um, I don't want to say that. Let me rephrase it. Or you go out there and you watch these youth coaches, and some of them just are teaching the wrong thing. Put it like that. So it forces you to get into the game and get into the coaching, right? And
Right.
so once you start coaching, and you're going to implement the ways that you've been taught, which is some type of high level of standard. So you're teaching these guys, college type situations and things and drills that they're going through to prepare them for the future. So, long story short is when you do that at a lower level and you keep building up with these kids, and these kids know you from all the way back then, whether
Hmm.
it's meeting you at a camp, playing against you, playing against your team, admiring your team, wanting to play for your team because their uniforms look right, they march in the correct way, everything. All of these things factor into being a great recruiter and being a great coach, as
Yes.
what Coach Prime has turned into. And I think we
Hmm.
got somebody chiming in right now. Is going to be my dog, who I want to be a regular on the show. And here he is, Big LT. Come talk to David, talk to
Yeah.
Buzz, baby.
What's
What's
up,
happening?
man?
Can you? Let me see. Are you on mute? You on mute, LT? There you
Oh,
go.
okay. Can you hear me good?
Yeah, you good? What's happening?
Oh man, what's going on, man? Y'all called me at work, man. Had to
Okay, it's
sneak
all
out, jump into the office real quick. What's going on, brother?
Go ahead and give your takes real quick. What you think? What you got going on?
Oh man, y'all talking about the to the conference alignment, conference movement?
Well, we talking everything buffs. But yeah, the
Oh
conference
well,
movement.
yeah, I think I don't see no problem with them going to the Big 12. I actually think it'll be a better off for them because I think the competition is stiffening up more. Like it was somebody I heard saying if they stay in the Pac-12 and all them top schools get to leaving and they end up getting left behind, they're gonna try to treat Prime just like they did the Sweat. They're gonna say their conferences, they're not gonna take it serious. Just like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
you know what I mean, USA conference or something like that. They're not gonna take it serious. So it'd be best for them to go somewhere where it's actual competition. It won't be that way. It won't be no excuses. Plus,
yeah.
they'd be getting the money. And then if he set his foot and get his roots back in Texas again, man, it might be a done deal.
Yeah,
Texas and
I said that
Florida
too.
boy.
Texas or Florida. If
Yeah,
he mess around and
yeah.
go back there, but I really hope that he does it right now, especially in the near future. I hope he stays in Colorado. I hope he really does something.
No, I'm talking about staying in Colorado, but I'm talking about by them moving to the Big 12. You know what I
Oh,
mean? That's going to give him
oh yeah.
a pipeline,
Oh,
well, a
Go
strong
recruiting.
to
pipeline
Hmm.
Texas. Yep, you're right. You're right. Especially like David said with the time slots and everything. So I like that. Big LT is a legit interview.
Oh man,
For sure.
I just love talking football with y'all, man. I love following Prime, man. Everything he's been doing since Jackson State out here. I mean, you got to think Prime is big here in Dallas, man. He's big here in Texas, man. You know, Alvin is a Cowboy fan, and Cowboy growing up. But as far as like in the community with the kids, you know
And
what I mean?
that's
The
saying with
little
that truth,
leagues,
it
yeah,
goes
his
so
sons,
far. It goes so far. It
yeah,
reaches the family members. It reaches the grandmas and the coaches and
facts.
people who
The
probably ain't never
household.
seen him play.
He has a grip on the
Coaching.
on the black household real strong, man. You know, when he walked through that door, man, you you see that smile of Prime walking in through that door, man. It's a different type of feeling, man. When Prime walk through that door, man. You like, damn, man, Prime. Hey, it's hard. Like you said, it's hard to say no to Prime. Then he's smart by going up there to Boulder because it's something different. It's almost like a resort.
Yeah,
You know
hey,
what I mean?
Yes.
no. No, you are speaking facts right there. I said that before. It
It's
is
like a
getting
resort.
away. It's getting away, and any parent from the hood, right, who has
Yes,
a
they know
son
they baby gonna stay out of
who
trouble.
messed
Like
around and
what he
come up
say?
there,
They want to know if he eating good,
is
housing, and all that.
he safe? And if they come up there and they experience Boulder, man, I've never been there, but I've been a lot of places in this world. Trust me, I've been a lot of places in this world, so I can kind of imagine, what Boulder is like. So for any parent from the hood now who's never been anywhere, who comes to a place like Boulder and sees this and say, "My son can be here," and I
Thanks.
don't see none of the shoot 'em up and bang bangs like I see in the hood. Sorry,
And
but
I can come and visit and go to a game
I,
every now and then.
man, they're
Yep.
almost kicking their kid in the butt to come there. I think that's what happened to Kamani McLean. Kamani was kind of
Big
set on
facts.
Miami just because of being down there and the culture and his friends talking about going and
You get caught up in a lot of action out there, man. It's a lot to do in Miami. A
it's a
whole
lot
lot to
to
do.
do. But Mama knows that too, and Mama
You don't
knows
need another Aaron Hernandez.
not at all. And Mama knows that, so Mama's like, "Listen, you need to go up here with Uncle Prime now, Coach
Thanks.
Prime. I trust him, and he talk about the Lord, and he in the
Right.
middle of Boulder, where none of the stuff where we come from is prevalent at right now. You know what I
And he's a
mean?
father figure. He's a
And
father
he's a
figure.
father
You know what I
figure. A
mean?
lot of these guys come from what? None father or fatherless
No,
homes.
man. I'm gonna tell you, brother. I was assistant helping coaching with my kids little league team. When I say, you know what I mean, I was talking to the team and I asked them to raise their hand how many kids got a father at home or a male role model at the house. Don't you know, out of maybe 25, 30 kids, only maybe like 8, 5 raise their hands. And, you know,
Mm,
I'm over here in the hood out there in Pleasant Grove. Yeah,
yeah,
now I knew, you know what I mean? And that lets you know, man, when they see somebody like Prime trying to take them out and show them something better, man, that's hard to turn down for a lot of them parents. A lot of them parents they turn down that quick NIL money to go up there with Prime,
they
man.
will,
Like
and they
Kamari
should.
McLean.
They will and they should, in my opinion, because it's so much more to gain from going up there with Coach Prime, man. Like he said, you're gonna come up here a boy, but you're gonna be sent back a man.
Yep.
And that's invaluable right there, especially as a parent. So
Hey.
from your perspective, Dave, what you think, man? What you think about? I want to ask this from somebody locally, uh, your perspective, and also your perspective on keeping local kids in the CU program.
Okay. Oh, yes. Well, first, let me hit on this. I don't know if some of y'all know this, Big LT, Big Dog Chico, but I lived 7 years in Abilene, Texas, in West Texas.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Okay,
I
that's
watched it live. You
yeah.
said that.
So
yep. And I lived in San Angelo, Texas, West Texas also. So
Oh,
shout
no
out
You
to
go
way.
West
down in
Texas.
Abilene. You go
Yeah,
down in Abilene.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I lived there, and I went to school for undergrad there, and CU is where I went to graduate school. Now, um, just just getting out of West Texas and coming out to the Boulder area, I mean, it was just insane. My wife's from San Antonio, never lived outside
Right.
the state. And, she was like, my goodness, we can do all this stuff in the city. We can do all this stuff in the mountains. And we don't it's not like, people are crapping on the weather, but the weather here is so much easier to live in than,
Yeah,
than
yeah.
Texas. And, it makes it hard to leave,
Yeah.
we
You
talk
ain't got no
about,
bugs up there.
yeah,
No
like,
mosquitoes.
and it's just a laid back place, which I love. So yes, you guys are right. Like, these athletes are going to be able to come in here and
No
really lock
flies
in
during the
and focus.
barbecues.
Yes, yes, they're going to love it here. Like Boulder, it will give you that small town feel, but again, all Denver's just right nearby where you can do all the fun stuff, go to all the concerts, the Red Rocks, if you want to go out to all the fancy
Right.
bars and clubs and all that, you can do that. But
They not gonna slam slam none of the black kids. They get caught with marijuana.
exactly. Heck, even mushrooms now. They're decriminalized here, the whole state. So
Mushroom?
like I said, all this
Said
team
mushrooms
needs,
are decriminalized?
yeah, man. Like
Hey.
Dang.
this is what I said. All this team needs is one camping trip in the mountains with some mushrooms, and they're gonna gel just fine. They're gonna be just
No.
They gonna
Right.
try.
That's wild, man. Come on, bro. Come on, man.
That's
Nah,
all they
I'm not
need.
gonna condone who do no
Oh,
drugs.
man,
No,
and just imagine them going out there fly
That's
fishing and all that.
man.
It's gonna be fun.
Hey,
But
man.
but
Hey,
man,
man.
to answer your question about the local talent, I'll put it this way, man. Y'all go on to 24/7, and when you go to Texas, you see 247 recruited guys, all ranked
yeah.
1 through 247. When you go to Colorado, I mean, man, it's been a while since I've been, but they definitely don't even get close to filling out the entire 247 for the state. The amount of depth,
Texas is a very big state too, David. And
Yeah.
then
that's true.
yeah, and then like you said, I mean I played her in Texas in 6A. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah.
So I mean I know what you mean. I was always the smallest person on the football field, man, and I was a tough little thing, man. You had to be tough to play out here with these boys, man. And
Yeah.
it was fun, man. The weather, the weather enhanced, what I mean, your abilities out here. You know what I mean? Growing up out here in this heat, man, playing out there, man, I loved it. Coming up as a kid, man, I loved it, man. And
Yeah.
it's not like how it used to be back in the day when you could play. You drive past some apartments and it's a little field right there, and the kids out there playing in the field in front of the apartments. You know what I mean? Or at the park
Man.
right there. They don't do that no more, man. Those were the best talents were developed at right there.
Yeah.
You know
Yep.
what I mean? You seeing them little kids out there, man, in front of them apartments or on the side of somewhere was a big field or stuff they out there playing. Man, you don't see that no more.
I always say, man, shoot, most of the talent get left right there because they make different decisions. I always say I went at the time the furthest from my high school or from my neighborhood, whatever. But man, I was definitely not the best player. I was
Right.
definitely not the best player. The best players never did get a chance to go to college or didn't have the grades to go to college or made a wrong decision, got messed up at 16, 17 years old.
That's what
You
they
know,
say.
so
They say the best player never make it.
yeah, for a kid to even make it to a scholarship level, especially from a parent's point of view, that's remarkable, and that's a situation where you want to take advantage of and put them in the best situation possible. And if I'm getting recruited by Coach Prime, this leads all the way back to this. If I'm getting recruited by Coach Prime, man, it's almost like a no-brainer. If he said he wanted
That's an
me,
opportunity that you can't turn down, man. Like and these kids, and I hope they listening to this, man. Y'all gotta understand, just like they were at Jackson, y'all are almost royalty, man. They gonna be writing a book or be making a movie about
exactly.
y'all kids, man.
And
Y'all
like
don't
Coach
understand.
Prime
They gonna be making a book, a movie, a 30 for 30 about the Jackson State squad. Them 2 years they were down there, just like they gonna do up here in Colorado. This whole trip that Prime is doing from Jackson to Colorado is gonna be a movie, man. Y'all are gonna be in history like that Friday Night Lights and Carter and all that, man. Y'all are gonna be a movie, man. Remember the Titans? Y'all are gonna be in history, bro.
Real.
History, and it's a blessing to be alive and be aware of this moment that what's going on in history that Prime is doing in Colorado. This is history in the making, man.
Be
History,
witnesses
man.
to be witnesses of it all going down right here, man. I'm this is something that I'm happy to see, happy to be a part of. We got
Man.
more to come. We're gonna be talking
Y'all
about this
history. Y'all
all the way
content
through.
makers. Y'all gonna be in here. Y'all gonna be in history book too. David, Big Chico, all y'all, Liquidator, uh, um, I can't remember everybody else. Sco's on, all them guys, man. Everybody, man. Prime Talk Buff, all them guys, man. Everybody gonna be y'all guys are gonna be part of history, man.
And that's what we're doing. We see it coming. We see it happening. Coach Prime is making it. I've witnessed it happen from the get go at Jackson State. From the jump, I was doing the same thing I'm doing now, but on a different level, of course. But what
Right.
we're doing now is only going to grow. It's only going to get better. We're going to continue to do this. You won't see the last of us. Shout out to my dog, Big LT, chiming in. Official Big Dog. You already know what it is. Shout out to David Talks Buff. He got his own page where he's creating his content, growing every day. Because you're making good content, it's going to continue to grow. So that's what it is. Don't focus on the subs. Don't focus on, focus on making good content, giving the people some info, some informative information that they can listen to, watch, digest, and have fun with. And that's what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to bring you guys. I appreciate Miss Slotto. Appreciate Coach G Graham. Who else got me with the super chat? So I got who remember the reggae artists back in the day? Super Cat. Who remember the reggae artist Super Cat? Man, y'all better do y'all music history,
Yeah.
man. And go check out Super Cat.
Yeah.
That's where the super chat come from. Yes, sir.
And
So
also,
shout,
I'll throw this in here. Yeah, if
yeah,
anybody's traveling out here for a game, you can always reach out to me at David Talks Buffs if you just need recommendations or where to find all the fun. I'm the hookup, Denver Boulder.
there
Feel
it is.
free to hit me up, and I would
And he
love
got
to
them
help you out.
shrooms.
No, y'all
But in
wild.
Colorado, you're only one person removed.
You only one person
At
removed
most.
on the
That's just
shroom.
how it is.
You want some shrooms in Colorado? You only one person removed. Straight up,
Right,
holla at your
right.
boy. I don't know. I've never messed with the shrooms before, but
Nah, I'm good, man.
yeah, I'm good.
I'm good, man.
I
I'm
was in the
good.
car in Tennessee one time. Went on the trip in college with one of my players, teammates from Tennessee. I went back home with him, but he had some friends jump in the car with us, and they were like, "Hey, dude, we're about to take some shrooms." And I'm like, "What? I never, about to take some shrooms, dude. All right, now listen, when we take them, don't make any sudden movements and don't say anything
Yeah.
too loud." I was like, "Hold up, time
Nah,
out. You about to take the shrooms, but I get the rules? Oh hell no!"
nah, yeah, it don't work like that, man.
They gonna tell me not to make any sudden movements. Man, that was the weirdest thing I've seen. But I've heard they could enlighten your mind. That's another story. Maybe I need to talk to you about
Mm.
that on the side, David. All
Hey, I
Yeah,
don't knock nobody's pleasure, man.
right.
we can hit on it at the end of my interview tomorrow. So yeah, we can do that for sure.
That's what it is. If y'all know, we started this off. I was supposed to have Lawrence Vickers on. I think we had a scheduling conflict. But speaking of shrooms, he's one I wanted to talk about. Even go into marijuana into the NFL because I know he's an admitted user or whatever. So I wanted to go through that with him and talk about the um, the people that's using in the NFL and the effects of it and things like that. Real quick before we get out of here, shout out to Jay Brown. I appreciate you. Alpine Garage Sports. I appreciate you. Double salute to both of you guys. David Talk Buffs and Big LT. What do you guys think about marijuana use in football? We know it's not being tested now in basketball, never really been tested in hockey or baseball. Um, when I played, I would say probably I'll just say from college, 40 to 30 to 40% probably partook. In pro football, I'll say even more partook in that. What do you guys think about it?
Yeah, I'll say just from personal experience, man. Like I drink a lot less now that marijuana is part of my life. So I mean, there's
Mhm.
no, and I feel like I'm much healthier, and I enjoy my life so much more. One of the reasons why I want to move out of Texas is because I was just drinking too much. I was, depressed, just
Yeah,
had to get
Texas
out of
good
there.
alcohol do it, man. Texas good.
Yeah, so I mean, athletes should, that should always be something that they have access to.
Yeah. Okay, especially as opposed to the opioids that they
Yep.
give you. Now,
Yep.
people in the comments, I'm not
Man,
talking about people just using it, whatever, da da da. I'm kind of maybe I should rephrase the question as opposed
Okay.
to taking the opioids, for the pain and the things related to football. I think is a better option rather than the opioids or either opioids or a natural substance like herb. So, what did you think, BLT?
hey man, I'm with David on that, man. I have no problem with the marijuana, man, at all, at all, man. I
Much
love it.
love. I
And
appreciate you
then, like
guys,
you
man.
said, man, there's a lot of these players that go to they're getting concussions every day in football.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Going home with headaches. You know what I mean? Going
Back
home,
issues.
taking it out on their family and their kids. You know what I mean? They ain't got
Yeah.
time to spend with their kids
Yep.
because their head is pounding. I'd
Yep.
rather for them be addicted to marijuana than pills that you know what I mean. You can have the
Yep.
ability to the overdose on. You know what I mean? Or cause some kind of down the line or you know what I mean uh,
And
illness or affect anything, man.
even worse if and I thought about this when I was playing when I got hurt. I've got hurt many times, but I remember they tried to give me some type of pills, and I remember asking them, and I remember saying, "Will I be able to have access to these? You know, when you guys are not here, will I have access to these after I'm done? I don't want to get hooked on them and then I can't get them. And then I go to something else, which is the next thing. And now that's going to be a street drug. I was like, nah, I'm straight on those white
But
pills. I
it's
don't
a
know what they
difference
are,
though from
you know.
abusing it too, though. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
but I know myself. You feel me?
Yeah,
So
you
I
can't. You
said,
know what I mean?
I said, I don't want to take them, like them, and then now I want them. Where they at? Where they at?
Right.
Oh, you can't get no more, Chico. Oh, hell no, you should never gave them to me then. That's how I am. So I never did take anything other than when they used to shoot me up. I got shot up in the leg and the knee and a couple other spots.
Mhm.
But other than that, I didn't want to take anything where it was like a pill form or something that I feel like I was gonna have to try to find later on or get addicted to, or let
Mhm.
alone I don't know what's actually in this pill.
Yes.
I don't know what that is. So,
Right.
all right, maybe we're getting off subject a little bit. I just want to touch on that. I appreciate everybody joining in once again.
Hey
We're gonna
man,
do this
appreciate you,
constantly.
brother.
We usually stay on for an hour. We're a little bit over now, but great conversation with David Talks Buffs. Great conversation with Big LT once again. We're gonna do it again.
Yeah, they
Anytime
called
you
me.
guys want to chime in and jump in, make sure you do that. All right. I'm gonna let you get back to your job, dog. I know you looking you gotta go. So I
Appreciate it,
appreciate you,
brother.
Big
All
LT,
right, David.
Hey,
Good to
great
see you,
seeing you,
brother.
man.
for
All
sure.
righty.
Hey, inbox me on Instagram.
I love him. He's awesome.
Yeah, he was awesome. Alpine Garage Sports said he's definitely a great interview to have on there. So he's gonna be my pop in guy every now and then. He said he don't have a YouTube page, he don't want one, but it's all good. So thank you guys. I appreciate you. Hit the like button, subscribe, comment, share, and all the other good stuff. Make sure you subscribe to David Talks Buffs. Big Dog Chico, get your merch down below. We about this thing. Peace in the Middle East. Yeah.